entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey now everyone, Matt Haywood here from entertainmentbuddha.com, and I'm back with my buddy Nick C, and we're here for another episode of Star Wars Time. What? Yes, that's right, people. This is officially, we're going to go with episode 2 of our rebranded Star Wars-centric podcast, and we're here to talk about all things Star Wars, most notably a few, 3 or 4 little news items that have popped up since our last cast, which was kind of about some stuff around The Last Jedi, where tonight we're going to talk about a little bit of the Han Solo movie. We're going to do some of the prequels. We're going to touch on the new stuff. You never know where we're going to go with our tangents. That's just what you get on Star Wars Time. So, Nick, good to talk to you again, buddy. We're back here on the mics to discuss the greatest sci-fi franchise of all time. So, how you been?
Pretty good, man. Started a new job, so getting used to that. And with that being said, hopefully I'm going to be getting out another episode of Less Than 12 Parsecs this weekend. Have something up for you people by next week. I know we shot out the first 2 episodes pretty quick, but more is to come, so no worries there.
Yeah, so, excuse me, I'll be coughing throughout the cast probably. Got a little cold, something like that. But anyways, we're just going to look at some things that have popped up on the interwebs that you need to know about. Or maybe you don't, because in the end they'll probably turn up to be a bunch of internet bullshit and clickbait. But hey, that's what we do leading up to a new Star Wars movie, which, by the way, is coming out December 15th. So we're getting closer and closer. When do you think we get the next trailer, Nick? D23 or SDCC?
I mean, I assume that we're probably going to get one at both. I mean, D23
Really? You think?
Yeah, because D23 is like Disney's big thing. Like, obviously San Diego Comic-Con is like nerd nirvana. Like, that's everybody's, big thing when you're in the geek world, when you're in the comic world, or anything to do with like crazy geek fandom. It's SDCC. So I think we're definitely going to get a drop there because it's so big. But then, like, D23 is Disney's huge thing, and now Star Wars is Disney, so I think it would be a little weird if we didn't get one at D23, or at least some sort of, like, maybe not a full-scale trailer, but maybe another, like, teaser, maybe a, starting the TV spots at the D23.
We need the full trailer, right?
Yeah.
Because what we got at Celebration was just... even Kathleen herself labeled it as a teaser.
Yeah, and that was crazy.
So I don't know, man. I mean, I do think D23 is going to get it, but in the same light, just based on the proximity of the events, I don't think SDCC will get much of anything. Because aren't they both in July?
They probably are, yeah. I mean,
or is D23 June and then SDCC July?
I mean, I'm not
I
sure.
know SDC. I know for a fact SDCC is 3rd or 4th week of July, and that's just when it is.
Yeah, see, I'm not sure about the date for D23. That might be in June. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Do a little Google search. It's July 14th through 16th, so that's D23 this year. So it's definitely in July, and if San Diego Comic-Con is also in July, it's going to be pretty close together. So maybe we might only get it at D23 if they're that close, but we'll see. I mean, it almost seems like it would be better to do it at San Diego Comic-Con because it's such a huge convention, and like D23 is definitely smaller. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess it just depends if Disney flexes their nutsack. It's like, yeah, by the way, we're the ones that paid $4 billion for the fucking license, so we want the trailer.
Yeah, for sure. And they definitely have the right to do that, but it might not be the best thing to do. I mean, who knows? Maybe it just gets, they kind of do like a pre-reveal, like, new trailer dropping D23 on whatever, July 15th, and they do like a live stream of it. So to get people watching a D23 live stream, get more people on the hype train right there. So it could do that.
I would like a trailer that follows some sort of beats that gives us an idea of the flow of the narrative. You know what I mean? Because teasers are teasers. They just literally, it's just fucking jolts. Like boom, boom. Right? We just got flashes of stuff.
Yeah, lots
boom,
of cuts to black.
Boom.
No real.
Where I think the actual trailer, just like Force Awakens in any movie, we might get some sort of a progression, or we'll at least be able to pick up on, okay, this is what's going down.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to get next. I mean, when we say teaser, people usually think like, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. But I mean, the teaser that we got for episode 8 was actually really long. It was almost 2 minutes.
I mean, teasers these days extend well beyond what you define as a tease. I mean, they literally can be a minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll classify it as a teaser, which that trailer was. So
yeah, well, I think that also has to do a lot with like regular trailers nowadays are giving away so many huge plot points in movies that like people are beginning to get pissed off. They're like, I saw the fucking trailer.
I
don't
agree.
see the movie.
Yeah, there are some films where it's just I can remember when the first trailer came out for BVS, and I just went, really?
Yeah.
Like, you literally just stepped through the entire arc of the plot.
Yeah.
100%.
The only thing that they didn't give away in that trailer was, like, the mom turn that, like, saved, like, Batman from killing Superman. That was the only thing.
Yeah, and that Superman dies at the end.
Yeah. So, I mean,
spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, if you haven't seen BVS, I mean, you might as well
Tough
watch
shit.
it.
It's been out for over a month and a half. Or a year and a half.
Yeah.
Blow us.
Yeah. So... I mean, D23 is definitely a good guess for the next trailer drop for Star Wars. But, we'll see. It could be SDCC too. So, do we want to jump into this? Speaking of the trailer, do we want to jump into the Japanese leaflet reveal?
Yep, that's where I was going.
Let's do it, man. So, apparently, over the last week or so, there was a Japanese promotional leaflet for Episode 8 that dropped out. And after translation, we found out that apparently Episode 8 will have the most shocking truth reveal in Star Wars history. So after hearing that, Matt, what did you first think of? Like, what was your first idea of what this amazing truth could be?
When you throw those types of words out and those descriptors, you have to instantly go to, is this going to rival I'm Your Father?
I don't think anything can, right?
That's where I'm coming from, but that's how they're billing this. Like, this big reveal will be on the same level, if not more shocking, than Vader's reveal to Luke of, hey, bro, I'm actually your dad.
Yeah. So do you think that they're just alluding to, like, the Rey parentage reveal? Because if so, I just don't think that can match it.
Well, let's have fun with it. How could it match it? Like, what do you think has to happen?
Oh, well, okay. In order for this to be bigger, because I wasn't alive when the initial, like, when Episode 5 initially released, so I didn't know, like, I don't know what the talk was surrounding the movie leading up to it. But apparently, like, when people saw that movie in theaters and that line dropped, no, I am your father, like, people were fucking shocked. So there must not have been a lot of rumors about something like that happening in the movie prior to it releasing. But for this, there have been so many rumors just from like day one or, day one after Episode 7 release about Rey's parentage. So like for that to be the big thing, it has to be something that nobody has said yet. Like it can't be Luke. It can't be Han. It can't be anything that any of us have ever thought of before. It has to be some crazy shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking shit as far out as like Luke kills Leia, or Rey tries to kill Luke, or Rey kills Luke. I mean, it's got to be on that level of what the fuck to beat I am your father.
Yeah, like, is Rey a sleeper agent from Snoke? Is that like something that's possible? Like, is she like a secret Russian spy or something?
Exactly. Is she Donald Trump?
Oh my God, please.
But yeah, well, we won't go down that route. But no, I mean, And I'm glad I almost want to talk about that. So, did you know going into Empire that Vader was his dad? Like, did you just find out?
I mean, I was so young when I saw it because, like, I mean, I guess, like, comparative to a lot of people who, like, Star Wars was kind of shown to them from their, by their parents when they were, like, 5 or 6 years old. I saw it kind of older in life. I was, like, 11 or 12 when I first saw it. So, like, I didn't know anything, like, my friend actually introduced it to me, and he's like, dude, you've never seen Star Wars before? We're both, pretty young kids, and he had them all on VHS, and we just, like, watched them all at his house one day, and he really didn't tell me anything about it, and I was like, holy crap, man, like, it was pretty shocking to me, like, you don't see that coming, and it's,
Yeah, because I think back, and, I'm not even a little older. I'm a good years older than you. I mean, born in 80, so, after A New Hope, right, or literally, my mom told me they went and saw Empire with me in her gut, so it's just, it's kismet that I love Star Wars. But I do recall, and I couldn't tell you the age, and I wish I could, but it was young enough to where it's very unclear, but I do remember experiencing the reveal as, like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was 2. I don't know if I was 3. I know I saw Jedi in the theater at 3. That's what I mean. It's so hazy back then, but I know deep down in my soul that when I found the reveal, I was like, what in the fucking hell is going on?
Yeah, and actually, it's funny because I watched like a YouTube video recently. I think it was actually released recently too, of like really young children today, like within the past couple of months, watching the reveal, like the reveal in episode 5 for the first time, and like a lot of them, like they had that legitimate shock on their face, like no, like one kid like turned to his dad, he's like, no, is he really his dad? And
yeah, exactly. That's how I felt. So that could spawn a whole other tangent, as in, I have a kid now, and I don't know if you ever plan to have any, but how do you deliver it?
I mean,
how do you deliver it? Honestly, it's a question that I think any diehard fan will maybe not stress out over, but give serious thought to.
Well, I think that comes to the question of like, how do you what order do you show the movies to your kids in? Because if you
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you do the like the real way. You do original, then you do prequel, and then you do new stuff.
You go chronologically by year release.
Yeah, so you go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, right. 7, 8, 9.
Well, now you got to go Rogue 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, you need to go.
No, you need to go 1, 2, 3, Rogue 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Han Solo.
Well, yeah. If we're going chronologically by films, it's easy. But yeah. I'm like on our timeline. Do you interject Rogue before A New Hope at this point?
I don't know, man, because I think...
Don't you have to, though?
I mean...
Just because how it leads literally right into the scene?
It does, but I think without the context of the original trilogy, Rogue holds a lot less significance. Because that's what makes Rogue One so good, is that the significance of that plot line.
Before no, that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point.
So, I mean, you could, like, actually, that'd be really
So, do you go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, Rogue?
Yeah. I would do that.
All right. I can get behind that, I think.
Yeah, because, and then, like, it's just, I think that's the best way to watch it, because if you do prequels first, then you don't get that moment in episode 5. Like, you don't get the reveal moment. Like, if you're watching it with Charlie and you watch 1, 2, 3 first, like, she basically knows that, she knows already. Because at the end of 3, Padme names the kids Luke and Leia, so she's like, oh. And then, like, you start watching 4, and it's like, oh, Luke's all grown up, and his dad is Darth Vader. You already know it. So you want to have that moment with your kid, like that crazy Luke Skywalker.
Right? Yeah. No. I mean that's why I've always been like, if I have a kid, how does this go down? Now I have a kid, and it's like, all right, how am I going to do it? Because there's a fear of me, like especially kids like Charlie, born in 2016 and up. if they start off with A New Hope, they're gonna be like, dude, this is the shittiest looking picture I've ever seen.
Yeah,
this shit's not even fucking real, right, Dad?
That is really dangerous.
And it's not really even the effects; it's just the quality. Again, the video. I mean, this thing was shot on fucking film.
Yeah,
and they've tried to squeeze it into 1080p, but it's like, Christ, you can only put so much lipstick on a pig, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is dangerous to do that because, Charlie's really young now, so when
they're so 70s looking, bro. I mean, A New Hope is so 70s. It's not even funny.
I just think that, it is dangerous because they could just not like it based off of that.
Right, dude, hey, Dad, this looks like a fucking joke, right?
But I think...
you guys thought this was cool, just like you and I would have looked at our parents and they showed us some of their movies going, do you guys even have brains? Are there imaginations in there?
You gotta have faith that the story just grabs them.
I agree, but I still think I think anyone will agree if you look at how movies are presented now, even Rogue One to what A New Hope, and again, A New Hope holds up 40 years later. Like the effects, especially in space, mostly in space with the ships, I think still work 100%. It's just the overall general quality of the resolution of the picture.
Yeah, it's just, it looks so strikingly different than everything
else. Not there. I mean, you can't take something shot on film. The fuck, Pete? Sorry, my cat turned on the old noisemaker there because he got scared.
But that's... Okay, so I'll say this, my friend has a 6-year-old, and he actually, got into the old movies, because they watched it all the way through, and he seemed like he was genuinely interested, because we went and saw episode 7.
Yeah, and dude, my nephews are 5 and 3, and the 3-year-old especially, they love it, and I think they do like the old ones.
Yeah, and I think, too, if you show it to them young enough, they won't really have that quality issue. If you showed it to them when if you showed a teenager or a preteen the movie, then that's the age where they're gonna be like, this looks stupid, Dad, I don't have time to watch this old stuff.
Yeah, but so it's probably timing more than anything.
Yeah, if you catch them young enough to where they're not quality snobs, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, so anyways, to round this all the way back to the initial discussion here, I think it's going to have to be something pretty fucking mind-blowing to trump the "I'm your father" line.
Yeah, definitely. I really think that it's definitely going to be surrounding Rey, because you can't have a huge reveal that's not related to her, because it wouldn't make sense. What are you going to reveal if it's not about Rey? She's literally the only mysterious character.
I mean, what if she kills Luke?
That would be fucking...
That would be what?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe she after all the training they go through, she's he's straight, he's too far gone. She realizes
he could very well be a fucking nut job.
Yeah. He's okay, well, here's what we gotta do. Kylo killed all of my, Padawans, so what do I have to do? I gotta kill all of them. I have to go on a fucking murdering spree or something. He could have legitimately just fucking lost it on that island.
No, he comes out and he's not wearing any clothes, and he has the porgs in his arms and one sitting on his head, and he's like, hee hee hee. Yeah. He's talking like the Joker. She's gonna be like, all right, man, you are lost.
Yeah, it's you're too far gone, old man. We gotta wrap up your story.
Yeah, like he tries to lock her up or something. She's just whatever, and slices and dices.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna have to be on that level, or I'm gonna roll my eyes and be like, all right, whatever. And I'm not gonna blame it on the movie. I mean, again, I'm gonna blame it on these motherfuckers blowing whistles and getting all excited.
I mean, obviously, this is a huge hype leaflet. If you read the whole thing, if you guys listening haven't seen this,
and I could honestly see the Japanese culture infusing those types of adjectives in it anyways to just make it more grandiose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, Star Wars essentially, found a lot of its inspiration in old, Japanese samurai movies. So, I mean, the Star Wars franchise probably holds as much, reverence in Japan as it does across the world. So obviously hyping it up is going to be something that's really important to them. So it is. It's probably just like a hype play. If you read the rest of it, it just kind of talks about basic story outlines, Kylo Ren's mother, the leader of the Resistance, is going to go embark on a new mission with, Poe and Finn and BB-8. And, they kind of give you just like a basic overview of the movie. And so it's definitely a hype piece. Be ready for the shocking truth surpassing the previous stories, December 15th. So, I mean, they're definitely hyping it up big. But, yeah, I mean, who knows? We could just be like fucking blown out the water. We don't know anything yet.
Right.
But
I don't know. Well, hey, whatever. Something to bullshit about.
Yeah.
So, moving on, and we're gonna stick on with the Last Jedi news. There was coming out of MakingStarWars.net. The people that get all the credit for figuring this shit out. I guess I don't know where they get their leaks from. I have a Hollywood insider, but he's a cocksucker and won't let me fucking share anything because I got some pretty big hints on another amazing sci-fi franchise that's going to get a pretty big reboot that fans go nuts for, but I can't say shit because he's a bitch. But anyways, back to Making Star Wars. So there's an article this week talking about Luke in general, but more or less what's on his person on Acto and what might some of these trinkets be. And one of them is and this guy, the reason we're bringing it up is because this guy describes it as being one of the most beautiful pieces of crafted propery in the Star Wars universe. And it's some sort of compass that Luke has, and he frames it as a compass that may involve the Force to use. He talks about how like Luke waves his hand over it and it'll open up and reveal some Arabesh, and you get the north, south, east, west deal, but of course from the Star Wars Galaxy version of what those may correspond to. But again, he just puts so much focus on this compass is beautiful and it can't just be some random fucking thing. It may be something that Luke is searching for and might find towards the end of the film, or it may be something Luke found and what sent him into his exile. What'd you think, Nick?
I mean, my first thought is this is some sort of device that is, well, like I told you, this record before we hit the record button. Like, I almost thought of it kind of like Jack Sparrow's compass in Pirates of the Caribbean, where it doesn't actually point like, magnetic north or something like that. It more points you towards like, either something that you're looking for, or maybe in this instance, it points you towards like the strongest Force direction, in him being on Acto. Maybe this is what he used to find the famous Force tree that houses, all this knowledge from the past Jedi. Maybe he also used it to find the remains of the first Jedi temple. So that's kind of my thought, is it's like a Force homing device almost.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's probably something that points towards Force sensitive or object strong in the Force. So we don't know. I mean, we don't know if it's going to have any mystical powers or not, or if it's just a fucking Star Wars compass. I mean, we could also just be overlooking that completely, and this is just what fucking compasses look like in Star Wars.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he is on a secluded island on like a I don't want to say long lost planet, but a planet that essentially nobody can find him on. So he's got to have some way to get around. So a compass is just generally a handy tool to have.
Right. Like the line where this guy says, I believe Luke moves his hand over it. So again, this guy is getting direct knowledge somehow, or he literally just makes shit up and hope it sticks. Either way, it's out there. They've come through on a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to talk too much shit, but I guess we'll find out. I mean, it could just be a plain Jane compass, or it could be something that's like the flux capacitor, and Luke can transport all around the galaxy, and it's everything. Like the compass, it's even more important than holocrons, it's Sith and Jedi. But we'll have to wait, right? We're going to have to wait and see. The article also talks about some stuff that Luke's going to have on him. Like he carries a backpack. It's not like his Dagobah one. He's got kindling in it, which maybe he, is migratory and camps around, or maybe, as the article suggests, he's building porg nests. Who knows? But it sounds like Luke is quite the outdoorsman at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this dude has been exiled on this island that has no form of shelter aside from his cave. So if he decides to, go on a trek that is, going to take more than a few hours, then he's going to have to bring survival materials along with him. They also say that he has like a cattle prod type object just in case he gets out there and he, encounters some wildlife that he needs to kind of keep away from him. He can poke him away with the cattle prod, not have to try to kill these things with his lightsaber or anything like that. So, I mean, yeah, being on a secluded island, obviously we got to see the first kind of peek at, we get the first peek at Acto, but more specifically, the island chain that he's confined to in the teaser trailer that dropped during Celebration. So
it's not big.
Yeah.
I mean, I even in real life, I think whatever it's called, like Skellige or something, I forget the fucking name.
Yeah, it's not a huge island, but there's definitely enough area for him to be able to explore a little bit and then possibly have to camp out a night.
Yeah, I agree. Like, just say, fuck it, I don't feel like walking a few miles back. But I think in real life, it's something that a human probably could walk in a day.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, now it just depends too, like if he's going out to, is there a specific ruin that he's trying to find, or does he want to like commune with the Force there? Does he want to
it may not even just be you have to be on land. I mean, this thing could be galactic.
True.
It could point to the stars of what he needs to go to. I mean, it could be what led him to Acto in the first place. Who knows?
It would be cool if it did function similar to the Pirates of the Caribbean one, but in a way where like he can like say he's channeling the Force, he's concentrating on Leia, and then he can open the compass and then he'll point him in the direction to where Leia is. Or like he can use that for other Force beings that he's able to connect to through the Force. So like maybe he can do that with Kylo. Like since him and Kylo already have this bond in the Force and in family, like he can concentrate on Kylo in the Force and maybe it can kind of point him in the direction where he is. That would be pretty cool.
Well, I don't know. We'll see if it's true or not. It could be complete horse shit, and we just wasted our lives and your life listening to this. But hey, that's what we do when we speculate Star Wars. Another thing in this post, and this is just straight a rumor, so take it as that. But essentially, they're saying that by the end of the movie, Luke's going to have a mission to go after Snoke, while Rey's going to go after Kylo. Excuse me. And the article just kind of went on to say, like, are they going to have an encounter? And his source said, I don't really know. And then he kind of goes into, I wonder if this is kind of a point in the movie where Luke goes, you know what? Fuck it. I am a Jedi. It's time to get back into it. Let's do it. And I honestly, I give them credit because I think that's an interesting thought. What if we learn about Luke's kind of disbelief or his jaded thoughts on the Jedi early in the movie, but through working with Rey and maybe possibly getting some transmissions from Leia, he's like, you know what? I gotta suck it up.
You see, I think that goes into it to where like we believe that Luke is like he's done with the Jedi in terms of like I'm done standing for what the Jedi stood for. But what I really think he meant by like distancing himself from the Jedi is more of like in a conceptual way, like he's distancing himself from the Jedi's specific teachings in the way that like
their rule. I mean, really just their rules.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think that he still has the same goal. Like he knows, like when he was a Jedi, he knew that Snoke needs to go down, and right now he still knows like my main goal is to take down the First Order and take down Snoke, and then possibly redeem Kylo if I can. So like his goals haven't changed. It's just maybe the way that he goes about it changed, or his overall philosophy on how Force users should be trained has changed. So like to me, him saying that like it like quote unquote going to embrace that he's a Jedi again, I don't think that he's lost that feeling or that mindset as much as he has just rethought it. So, I mean, I guess it could happen. Like, the more interesting thing to me is that, like, this, like, if this really does happen, like, Luke going for Snoke and then Rey going for Kylo, that almost directly mirrors Episode 3's ending when Yoda went after Palpatine and then Obi went after Anakin. And I think that would be interesting if you're going to mirror that in Episode 8, because I feel like that might be a little early to do it. But then again, that also depends on, like, are we going to see an ultimate showdown between, or you know, are we going to see a showdown between Rey and Kylo again after already seeing 1 and 7? Like, are we going to get one like a showdown between them in each movie, or could this be like Kylo possibly turning back to the light side and then Luke dying to Snoke, which kind of galvanizes the relationship between Rey and Kylo to both go after Snoke and finally take down this crazy dude who's like, you know, playing against the entire galaxy. So I mean, it opens up some very cool possibilities.
Snizzoke. Yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. I mean, I do believe that Luke is over the idea of a traditional Jedi, if anything else.
Yeah, 100% agree there.
I mean, the title pretty much fucking gives it away, people, right?
Yeah, and I mean, even Rian Johnson came out and he's like, Luke is the final Jedi. He's the last one.
I mean, this is it. He's either blowing smoke up our asses or he's blatantly telling us to fucking quit thinking about dumb shit.
Yeah. I think, you know what's weird, too, is, like, even if Luke is the final Jedi, like, whatever the new thing is going to have a name, right? Like, they can't just be, like, good Force users or something like that, or Force users, because, like...
Force positive and Force negative.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like, Jedi and Sith are not only, like, you know, terms that are used within the story of the, you know, of Star Wars, but it's also huge marketing terms for the Star Wars franchise and for Disney. So for them to just say, like, okay, there are no more Jedi and we're not really replacing it with anything would
that's
be really
a good
weird.
point. Like, yeah, I mean, what are they going to do to the licensing if they just cast away the Jedi term?
Yeah, it's an odd dance when it comes to, like, practicality in the real world with, like, how do you market stuff? Like, you can't market, like, Jedi lightsabers anymore, or, you know, here's a Jedi robe. Like, you still need a replacement marketing term for that. So I'm interested to see where that goes. We still haven't gotten, like, a replacement for Sith, even though, like, Sith wasn't really heavily used in the original trilogy. It was more used in the prequel trilogy, but...
Yeah, I mean, was it used at all in the original?
Maybe not. I mean, maybe
I'm
like
trying
once.
to think. I mean, maybe it was. I mean, but it doesn't stand out to me as something that, yes, like you said in the prequels, where it was very obvious that they drew all the lines in the sand. This Jedi, this Sith, so on and so forth. I don't remember the term Sith being discussed.
Yeah, it may have just been once, or maybe not at all, because I know Obi doesn't refer to it, because he, you know, when he's talking to Luke in the initial introduction, it doesn't say before the Sith ruled the galaxy. He says before the Empire. So they more focused on just, like, the...
Right, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, the Imperial reign more than, like, 2 Sith are the leaders of the galaxy. So, yeah, I mean, that is pretty interesting. I'd have to go back and watch it, because I can't really think of any specific times where, like, the term Sith was used. You're right. So that's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be pretty... Yeah, interesting to see. Yeah, there's so many cool, things that are coming in Episode 8, and, we're less than 7 months out. We're recording this on 5/19, so we're already past the 7-month mark. Countdown is real. It's coming, and there's just a lot of cool shit that I'm looking forward to learning about in Episode 8. This big reveal, relationships with Rey. Who is her father? Who's her mother? Does she have a father or mother? Do we get more information on Kylo's background? There's a lot of, what is Luke's whole role in this going to be? Does he die in this movie? Does he not? Lots of cool shit, man, and I'm super hyped for it. Super hyped.
It'll be here sooner than later. It's going to keep our heads down and focused.
Plow through.
All right, so kind of stepping away from Episode 8, we're going to take a trip back in time. Not that far back in time, but back to the 2000s when we got the glorious film known as Revenge of the Sith. 2005. Never forget it.
Yep.
So, I don't even know where this came from.
I think this came from. It was basically
Digital Spy apparently uncovered an alternate ending, but was it? Oh,
it was a presentation.
A presentation by Ian McCaig at the Academy Art University in 2016.
Yeah, so basically, like, if I'm not mistaken, McCaig he worked in the art department in some way. I think, I could be wrong.
Oh no, he's big. Like that name should stand out to anyone in Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, so I mean, like, he's not like Ralph McQuarrie big, like they've been doing McQuarrie, Saturdays on the Star Wars Instagram, but he was definitely, a big player in the art department for the Star Wars movies. So he was giving this speech at the Academy of Art University in 2016, and basically he just revealed that there was not really an alternate ending, but there was an alternate kind of series of events that played out between Padme and Anakin at the end of the film in 2005. So, as we all know, Padme really went out weak in Revenge of the Sith. And it was like, she was played up as this strong female character throughout a lot of the prequel trilogy. Obviously, acting and writing aside, that's what they tried to do with her. She was a fighter. In Episode 2, she held her own in the Geonosis Coliseum battle, and she was generally set out to be like, another Leia. And at the end of Episode 3, we get this awful exchange between her and Anakin, where she like gets off of her ship when she lands on Mustafar and just starts crying. "You're breaking my heart. How could you do this?"
Oh my god!
It was really,
somebody kill me.
Yeah, it was bad, and it did disservice to Padme's character in a lot of people's eyes, mine included, because it didn't fit with the overall feel of her character and how they tried to build her. So Ian McCaig basically told these students that the original idea, or the alternate quote unquote idea for this. For her ending was to be way more aggressive. So basically, like, she gets off her ship, she runs down the ramp, and she has a knife, and she runs straight to Anakin and puts the knife to his throat. Like, she's legitimately angry. She's like, "I have to end this. I can't let it go any further."
I mean, honestly, at that point in time in Anakin's head, how would that even happen?
I mean, I don't know. Like, how do you think he would respond?
Because he was ready. He was ready to fucking kill her in the version we got.
Well, towards the end, like when he finally realized, like when he's like, because at first he did kind of try to talk her down, like talk her into like coming with him to the dark side. He's like, "We can rule the galaxy together. Like I'm more powerful than the Emperor. I can defeat him. It can be just you and me." So like after she started to show this resistance over time and really a sense of weakness, like he really fed more off of the weakness than the resistance, I think. Like, he realized that, like, she's not coming with me, she's weak, and, she just needs to die. And that's when he throws the Force choke on her. But I think if she would have came out aggressive, he would have had a different response. Does he go immediately to, like, an aggressive stance to where he just throws out the Force choke? According to McCaig, he actually, like, starts to try to talk to her again. Like, he doesn't get super aggressive. And eventually, he talks her down from the blade to his throat, and then she, this is what he says, she realizes she still loves him too much to do the deed. So she, drops the knife and then kind of withers.
I still find it hard to believe that anyone with his level of Force powers would be able to have his throat slit.
It would be weird, but it's again
of anything. Like, I mean, have you seen any Jedi ever bleed?
No,
like from a cut?
No, yeah, I mean from like a normal. I mean, like obviously Jedis have been shot and stuff like that. Grazed, shot in different ways, but not anything like that. But it's just like it goes back to that whole conversation of like Anakin's entire trajectory, his downward trajectory, was all based off of his love for Padme. So would he have the immediate ability, like if she were to just run at him, knife out, and not stop and just go straight for the throat, would he have the ability to reconcile that in his mind that quickly and stop her? Or would he just be too conflicted and then just bam, she just does it and he's gone? That's the real question, is like, would he be able to pull himself away from her fast enough to save his own life? So
Yeah, I don't know. He to me he was pretty fucking well demented by that point.
oh yeah, I
So.
mean, and also he just literally finished slaughtering an entire temple's worth of children, and then the entirety of the Trade Federation upper management, essentially.
Oh yeah. I mean, he just murdered upwards of 100 people, if not more,
Yeah.
by that point in time. So
I mean, his fall was definitely complete to the dark side, but he still had feelings for Padme, even in the version that we got.
well, yeah. I mean, that's where we get one of the best lines in Star Wars, right? Is she safe? Oh, you killed her. No!
That turd of a line there.
Oh my god!
But I mean,
And
I really wish that this version would have been in the movie. Like, even though it would have ended the same way, like, I feel like that
she
moment,
died. She died from a broken heart.
God, was that awful?
Fuck out of here!
But I think it would have also changed the birth scene, because at the birth scene it was still so just like sad. It was just terrible to watch, because she's like, there's still good in him, you need to save him. Like, I would have rather see her go out strong and not so defeated and so weak. Like, I feel like if this moment would have happened, she would have been.
You're exactly right. I mean, she went from this queen to one of the most dominant centers in the galaxy to, oh, Anakin Wanakin, I'm nothing without him, woohoo, just like any other weak woman character you've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that it came to that, but I mean, like, I guess it's nice to know that they at least like thought about having something like this, even though Lucas probably was like, "No, we're not going to go with this. We're going to go with the shitty version."
Oh yeah, with his wisdom, I'm sure it was the right decision.
Yeah,
in the end.
But so yeah, that's our time capsule back to 2005 for those of you who are still hoping that there is some redemption for the prequels, whether it be in the future with Disney or through
Spoiler alert: there's not.
Yeah.
There is no redeeming any of that shit.
So yeah.
And Kathleen even came out and said that George's films are untouchable, so it is what it is.
I mean, I maintain that yes, George's films are untouchable while he is alive.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
while he is alive.
We could be getting into the fine print of that deal, but
yeah. So neither me nor Matt are sitting here hoping that George Lucas dies. Obviously, we would be heartbroken, and it would be just a huge loss for us, and it would be a huge loss for the Star Wars community and in general, like the film community, when George Lucas passes. But, it's something that is probably, in the contract somewhere that, like, his properties are his until his passing. So we'll see, I guess, when that time comes.
George, we love you, buddy. Don't worry about it.
We do.
All right, so rounding home here, our last little topic to talk about. We got, and TMZ got it actually, some set pics from the young Han Solo movie, and the pics are worth discussing for a few reasons. So Nick and I talked offline, of course, and we both instantly recognize that this version of Han is a fat ass.
Yeah, he's pretty chubby. He's definitely put on some weight or something. Something's happened.
Yeah, homeboy, I don't know, like, if on purpose, like he had to, or he just got lazy before they started filming, but Alden is beefy as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you've seen the movie Hail Caesar, and I'm sure people listening to this podcast have seen it too. Like, he was a pretty in-shape dude in that movie. He definitely wasn't pudgy. But if you look at these set photos that are from TMZ, like the one that shows Alden, what it looks like in costume, you can definitely see a gut, and if you look at his face, it's definitely got some fat to it, some pudge. He looks
like Jack Osborne back when the Osbournes were on TV,
it's
right?
That's not a bad description now that you mention it, dude.
Kind of that build and look. I mean, he almost looks dead on.
Yeah, and well, now that we know that we're going to be covering a span of time periods in this movie, my first thought was, well, maybe this is like, Han in like a heavily drinking period. He's partying a lot. He's got a lot of money from his smuggling gigs, so he's hitting the different bars throughout the galaxy, drinking a lot, probably talking to the occasional woman here and there, and having a general good time. And then also in this photo where you see the pudgy Han, you also can see that he's probably just came out of a bar fight. Looks like he's got some wounds around his eyes.
He's beat up. I mean, it almost looked to me like he got spit on by a xenomorph.
Yeah, like it almost looks like chemical burns. That's a good point. Yeah. So something's definitely just gone down in the recent past. He's got some marks to show for it, and his clothes, if this is a picture of Alden in actual,
he's whipping a vest.
Yeah.
It's not the Han vest, but it's like a white vest, because the picture of him in Jack Osborne form, he's wearing a coat, obviously, but then there's another picture of him in what's probably going to be turned into a speeder.
Yeah.
And you can see, I mean, he has a vest, and it's like a white vest he's got a black under. I mean, it's kind of stormtroopery.
Yeah, and this could go back to old EU times when that was the original kind of canon for Han, was that he was a member of this Imperial security force that was working on a prison planet, and that's how he met Chewbacca. Like, he busted him out of prison. He decided that he couldn't, he wasn't going to stand for the way that the Empire was treating these alien prisoners, and he fucking got out of there.
He looks so disheveled. I mean, that picture is just like, he looks like he was painting and eating cheeseburgers nonstop.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is like, if you look at his clothing, there's like paint stains or some sort of stains on his clothes. So like, is he working in...
He looks fucking homeless.
Maybe this is like initial, like when we first meet Han, like before he gets into the smuggling game.
Oh yeah. I mean, it has to be, because he's super scrubby.
Yeah, so he's doing like carpentry work. Like, even if you look at his shirt, like his undershirt, like you can see it's like ripped, it's tattered, like the neck looks like it's been completely just like torn off of it. And yeah, so he's like, he looks like he's coming out of like a construction job almost. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to see that, this is probably going to be the first introduction to young Han Solo that we get, is in this disheveled, messy form. And then if you continue to go through the pictures, there's a lot of duplicates in this TMZ article. They just keep running the same shit over and over again. But we get some shots of what looks like a rebellion extra walking around. He's got the typical like rebellion kind of like helmet on. He's got a shawl. It looks like almost like a poncho on as well. And then there's just some other images, some pretty cool images of vehicles that are going to be included in the movie. All of them look rather tattered. Nothing that looks brand new, except for like, if you look at, it's funny, like I looked at the one that like Han is riding in. It kind of looks like if you see the full shot of it, like a old school American convertible almost. Like, it's definitely got like a
yeah. I mean, it's not like Luke's speeder.
No, this is like one of those speeders that like
Yeah, it almost looks like a fucking pod racer speeder.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really have a hood scoop on it, but if you look at it, it's got like the machinations of the engine that are like coming through the top of the hood in it. It's got like what looks like what would be aftermarket Star Wars seats that don't, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool, man. I'm curious to see Han roll, if this is like a purchase that Han had after his first smuggling gig, or was this something that he bought when he was still working at his old job? But this is clearly Han's car or, speeder before, he got the Falcon probably.
I just don't know, what asshole on set do you think's leaking all this shit?
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's just like, I mean, it's clearly an unintentional leak. Like, this isn't something that the guys, that the Miller brothers wanted to put out.
Oh yeah, no, totally. But it's someone that is on set.
Yeah, I mean, the images of the vehicles, especially, and then like, well, some of the images, like the one of, like the rebel guy that I said, like that I was talking about walking, you can kind of see like he's looking over at the guy taking the picture, kind of like he wasn't supposed to be there. So maybe it's like a PA, or maybe it's, a member of, somebody with a long lens that's, shooting from kind of close.
Right. Yeah, totally. It's funny how this stuff all makes it out.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, the screenshots look like, I mean, they definitely fit the Star Wars theme. They look,
Oh yeah, I
thematically
love
correct.
this shit. I mean, I know some people would consider it spoilerish. I don't. I like the B side of filming, like the real life, what it would actually look like when they shot a scene, because it is amazing then to, once you get to the finished product, to think back like, well, fuck, we saw that. It was Han's car, but it was sitting on an old piece of shit Chevy frame with some tires.
Yeah, exactly. To see how the movie magic happens.
Oh
how
yeah,
they bring it to life.
exactly.
So, yeah,
Like what exactly they put into it to make it not seem real.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think that this is, yeah. I mean, they got some pretty good pictures in here. Nothing that's gonna like spoil anything for you. Like they don't have a picture of fucking Greedo in it, or there's no picture of, Harrison Ford wasn't on the fucking set and they got a picture of him or anything like that. So, like, nothing that's going to spoil the movie for you.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, he cannot be in the movie at all, right? I mean,
don't
he
think
can't
so.
even have a cameo like as a third-rate dude at a bar, right? I mean, he can't.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Disney to do that because
Well, do you think he would A, agree to
No.
it, and B, I don't even think it should happen.
No. Now, I think Disney would be open to the idea of having having him in there in some way,
Yeah,
but
of course.
like Harrison himself, I think is just like, no, I'm done. Like
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I think, didn't he tell this that anyone that was trying to be him that they're stupid and good luck?
Yeah, he was just like, don't do this. Like, this is bad for you. Don't do it. Like, there is literally an article out there. I don't know if they actually have the audio clip, but there's an article out there of an interview with him, and he legitimately just says, don't do it. Like, somebody asked him, he's like, do you have any advice for the people who are auditioning for the role of young Han Solo? And that's all he said. He just said, don't do it. Like, couldn't be any more
That's
fucking
awesome.
straightforward about this movie. He either doesn't want it to happen.
That's so
or-
Harrison Ford, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just perfect.
It is. Harrison Ford is one of a fucking kind, man. And
It's just I'll never understand why he hated Star Wars so much, but he loves Indy and he has no problem going back to Blade Runner. It's just he fucking hated Star Wars.
I think it's just because of how he saw what happened to Mark Hamill and he saw what happened to Carrie Fisher. And he's like, I don't want that to be me. But the thing is like, he already had a major role locked in at that point. Like, he was already, I mean, not.
But he hated it back then. I mean, he was begging to be killed in Jedi. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't know if he'd even be back for Jedi because he wasn't happy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, but the same thing was like Alec Guinness apparently didn't like it either. Like, he thought it was silly and he thought it was stupid and he wasn't a huge fan of like the whole story and everything like that. So, I mean, there were a lot of people who were involved with it that were apparently not big fans.
Well, I could see Alec because I mean he was truly from a different generation.
I mean, he was
of
legitimately
Hollywood.
like, he was
mean,
knighted by the Queen of England.
right. I
Like,
mean,
this
he
dude
was a very elder statesman of Hollywood at that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure he was like, what? This is what my career has ended up as. This is what I'm doing now. These are the only parts I can get. But honestly, if it wasn't for Star Wars, I don't think 80% of the people on this planet would know who Alec Guinness was.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I don't think I've seen an Alec Guinness movie outside of Star Wars, to be completely honest.
Well,
with you.
I think the only other one I know is Cuckoo's Nest, right? I mean,
Oh yeah,
I think
true. Yeah,
the one who flew over to,
Cuckoo's.
or no, it's
One Who Flew Over to Cuckoo's Nest was Jack.
no, it's like
Nicholson.
the river or the bridge over the River Kwai or something like that.
I
is what
haven't
he
seen
did.
that. So
It's like a Korean War movie, I believe.
gotcha. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, he was obviously Alec Guinness is a well-known actor, but he's mostly known by people who I don't want to say appreciate, but who are well versed in the history of film and the gold. I guess you would say the golden age of filmmaking when we kind of moved out of the black and white age into the age of color and the transitionary period there and stuff like that. So, it is weird though that both of those characters, both of those people, like Harrison Ford and Alec Guinness, were just like not big fans of it. I don't know if it has to do with like Harrison Ford's just not a big sci-fi movie fan, but it doesn't fit, like you said, with like Blade Runner, and he's coming back to Blade Runner. But yeah,
to me, Indiana Jones is more ridiculous than Star Wars. Like some of the shit he gets into, especially the fourth one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the fourth one is just like, that's another example of George Lucas just going fucking crazy on a movie and like.
Yeah, it was a special.
I mean, I can still watch. Like, I love the Indiana Jones franchise just because I love like the pseudo history stuff like that. I love the character of Indiana Jones, and like, because I like history and like all the stuff that they talk about, especially like, I mean, my favorite is Last Crusade, and I know that it's pretty much just a toss up between Last Crusade and Raiders, but I mean, like, it was just really cool to me. And then to like see not episode 4, but Kingdom of the Crystal Skull be like around this whole alien shit. I mean, like, there was still cool stuff in it, but like the scenes that were ridiculous, like Shia LaBeouf fucking swinging through trees on vines
like
with
a monkey.
monkeys, and then like the nuking the fridge scene where like Harrison Ford literally is in a nuclear test site and he just jumps in a refrigerator when a nuke goes off, and then he just flies 3 miles through the air and he's fine. And then obviously you get the alien scene at the end. I mean, like, there was some ridiculousness there, but I think like aside from those things, it's still a pretty fun movie to watch. Like, there were some fun scenes in it.
It's not as horrible as people make it out to be.
No.
It's The Last Crusade.
Absolutely. And also, like, I think that, like, if you look at what Harrison Ford's doing now, I think he's just legitimately going back and killing all of his old characters. Like, he's already killed Han in Episode 7. He's coming back to Blade Runner this year that releases. I guarantee you he's going to die in that movie. Like, Decker's going to die 100%. And then Indiana Jones 5 has been confirmed as, happening with Harrison Ford in it. And I'm almost positive that he's going to, like, Indy's going to get killed in that movie.
Is it going to be a torch pass or just it's done?
I think like they were clearly trying to set up a torch pass with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with Shia LaBeouf, but that obviously just went to shit when Shia LaBeouf went batshit crazy. So that's not going to happen. So unless they have an idea.
What do you think it was, him going nuts, or the fact that a lot of people didn't really take Crystal Skull too well?
Well, I mean,
it's probably a little bit of both.
I mean,
right?
it's probably a little bit of both, but like that doesn't, like, I feel like even though there was like a general, like, this was really campy feel to the reception of Crystal Skull, I really think that like if Shia LaBeouf would have kept his head about him and agreed to come back for 5, they would have still moved forward with the torch passing. So, are they going to do that with 5? Are they going to bring in somebody who Indy can pass the torch to now? I don't think they can do another son unless they just fucking decide, like, you know what? We've established this storyline already. He he married, Shia LaBeouf's mother. Oh my God, what was her name? Her real name is Karen Allen, but I'm trying to remember
Mary. I can't remember.
It was. Shit. I just watched it too. This kills me because I've watched all the Indiana Jones movies so many times. Ravenwood. Marion. That was it.
Yeah.
Marion Ravenwood. So he marries her at the end of 4. So you have this established storyline where it's like he marries his kid's mother. So do you just recast like Mutt or whatever you want to, like, Henry Jones
Mutt.
III? Like, do you just recast him as somebody else and be like, look, it's been long enough since Crystal Skull. It's been almost 10 years now, if you think about it. So, like, I think you can get away with just recasting that character and continuing the torch pass.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where that one goes. And, maybe it'll pop up on the old Star Wars time every once in a while, because in the end, he is Han Solo.
Yep, it's a Lucasfilm property.
Yeah, fuck it.
So
right,
we may, who knows? I think we got a tentative release date of 2019 for Indiana Jones. So when that timeline rolls around, you may see Adventures of Indiana Jones with Matt and Nick, an episode or 2 around the release of that.
I'd love to talk some Alien Covenant right now, but I'm sure you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet, dude, but I'm definitely interested in seeing that movie. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, but
it's it definitely provides answers while opening new questions, but And in the same light, it also kind of just glosses over some of the shit from Prometheus.
Yeah, I think that's probably intentional, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell like he's pretty much like, okay, by the way, Covenant's going to be the real star of the prequels.
Yeah, because
Prometheus was just kind of setting up some backstory.
Yeah, Prometheus was basically just like, at this point, I feel like it was a device to get Numi Rapace's character from that planet to the Covenant planet, right? Is that kind of what it turned into?
Nah. I mean, I really can't say much at all.
No spoilers here, no spoilers, but
let's just say there's a very clear, and I use this term loosely, but there is a defined protagonist in these prequels that you may not have understood who it is.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe me and Matt just decide to start doing some other, some one-off casts about other movies out there. I mean, we have Guardians 2 that just came out. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I lied. It was fantastic.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows, man? Maybe we'll start doing one for every Marvel movie. Every time we get a new Marvel movie drop, me and Matt go see it. We'll do a podcast on it.
We could bump it up to 4 times a month and just, Star Wars this week, other geeky shit the next. You never know what you're going to get, and that's why you need to subscribe. You can get us on iTunes. You can get us on Stitcher. You can get us straight from Android, Google Play. It's everywhere. I'm throwing them up on YouTube again just because I'm an idiot. Why not? You never know. The site randomly works this week or it doesn't, so maybe we won't even exist by the next cast, but hey, we're here, we're talking Star Wars, and we appreciate you listening. So, Nick, I think we kind of hit everything. Is there anything else you want to discuss, or shall we wrap her up?
I think we've hit everything, man. It might be time to wrap this cast up.
All right, well, you know how to do it, people. I've already told you where you can find the podcast. We appreciate if you like us, listen, give us comments.
Tell your friends.
You never know what we'll talk about. I'm trying to line up my one buddy to do his little ditty on Admiral Thrawn, so he's either going to recap it for me or he's going to come on the cast, but maybe we'll do that the next time. So until then, my friends, you know what to do, and that is to make sure that the Force is always with you. Always, for real. All right. Peace out.